Last true or false statement. Most modern women have no contentment in relationships these days. So I like in your answer to the previous question how you brought up um becoming bored. I think a lot of women and I'm not going to answer the question, but I do want to say before you answer, I do think a lot of women get bored in relationships these days, and I think they get bored very quickly, very fast. And like you said, because of the dating scene today, with people thinking, keyword thinking, that they have so many options because they get on TikTok, they have a man or a woman that they communicate with on a regular basis on TikTok. They have a man or woman that they communicate with on a regular basis on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Snapchat, on whatever dating app they got on their phone. So it's like, well, if I'm bored with him or her, I can just go get someone else, to start new, start fresh, and not be with this person anymore. So most modern women have no contentment in relationships these days. True or false?
Um, I think the younger generation does it. I would say between like 35 and younger, they get very bored easily and they feel like, they're young and they still have time. And I think the older generation realizes that they may not have that much time. Like we always say, the age of death is now 70%. I mean 70 years of age. So at 35, you are now middle age. So you really don't have as much time as you think. It's not 100 years old. Um, I think what's happening, because I actually have been looking up some stats that actually show that in the last 20 years, women between the ages of like 15 to 29, their birth rates have actually decreased. And women between the ages of 30 and 40, their birth rates have actually increased. And what's ending up happening now is a lot of women that are in their 30s and older are getting married instead of women in their like younger 20s and stuff, and they're just out there traveling, getting their education. They're not really worrying about getting married and getting into relationships. Obviously they are still having kids, so we do have an issue with like single motherhood and stuff like that because they aren't getting married and they're having kids. But at the same time, I feel like when they get into their 30s, like mid to late 30s and older, I think that they are not getting bored. They're realizing that it's time to settle down. And I think that a lot of men are happen to be a little bit frustrated with that because they kind of want the women that are in their 20s and younger because, not 20s and younger, but women that are a little bit younger, like in their 20s, because those women are, I guess, youth is beauty. So but those women aren't ready and they really don't want the woman in their 30s because I guess they're older. I don't know.
So
That's something
last
for the
question.
men to say.
Last question. So with the divorce rate, with women filing for divorce at 70 something percent, they say it's almost 80% now, and like irreconcilable differences either being like the number one or one of the top reasons that they're, filing for divorce. You have a son. If you heard a woman say that, he could be a good man, because again, I think what the woman in this video was trying to say, but articulated it very poorly, is that if a man and a woman become incompatible, him being a good man is not a legitimate reason to stay. So if you heard a woman say something like that, and your son was dealing with that woman, would you advise your son to be with a woman to where uh the status of the relationship is going to be largely predicated on how she feels, how happy she is, how satisfied she is? Would you want your son dating a woman like that?
Um, it depends on the relationship dynamic that I see. If they have a great relationship, and I don't see that, she's has erratic behaviors, she's one of those people that are on again, off again. If she's not wishy-washy, then if she made that comment, I wouldn't be upset about that because I believe the same thing. Like I said, um, you need to be with somebody who has the same values as you. So, and yeah, it's not going to work out if you guys don't have the same values. So if she said that, I would not be upset. But if she was somebody that just was like very nonchalant about relationships and she was just one relationship after another, and she's very well known around the neighborhood as being somebody who's just not a commitment type of person, no, I would not want my son to be with a woman like that.
All right. Well, thank you for coming up here, Miss Betty. I appreciate you. You have
Thank
a good day.
you.
All right.